Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network channel on YouTube. I'm your host, Mr. Prime Real Estate, Ric Davis.
And I'm your host, the Texas Real Estate King, LarryWBrooks.
Every week, the King and I will provide you exclusive access to our network of lenders, investors, and real estate professionals from both the commercial and residential real estate sectors.
Now, are you millionaire minded? Or maybe you're a millionaire in the making. Make sure that you subscribe so you can get connected to the network. And always remember, the Prime Real Estate Network, where millionaires are in the making.
Create wealth for generations.
Real estate agents. Are you ready to take your career to new heights with a brokerage that puts you first? At Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm, we offer something no one else does, a powerful money-back guarantee. We believe in our support so much that if you don't close a transaction within 90 days, we'll refund every dollar you've paid to us. And if a year goes by and you still haven't closed, we'll even refund your payments to HAR, MLS, and Supra. Your success is our priority. At Brooks & Davis, you're not just joining a brokerage, you're becoming part of a community that's dedicated to your growth. Whether you're a licensed agent ready to elevate your career, or you're on your way to earning your license, we've got a place for you. Visit the website on the screen today to learn more. Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm, your trusted partner in real estate.
What's up, Prime Real Estate Network listeners? It's your man, Larry W. Brooks, a.k.a. the Texas Real Estate King. Hey, when you get a moment, go ahead and go over to shoplwb.com. You can see the Pure Hustle merchandise that we have over there, some of our newer items that we have in stock, and of course, I got all the books that I've authored. I'd love for your support. You have a great day.
Media, I invite you to do so at Prime Real Estate Ric. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate anywhere in the great state of Texas, you can reach me directly on Instagram at Prime Real Estate Ric. As always, it's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you this week, here live on YouTube and Facebook. I want to give a huge shout out to everybody out there in the audience. Get involved in today's show. Leave myself or the Texas Real Estate King a relevant real estate question in the comment section, and you never know, we may very well answer your question on today's show. I want to take a little time to introduce my co-host. He is not only a highly successful real estate broker, he's a multi-time author, serial entrepreneur, and he was also the co-chair of the HAR Engage Conference 2024. I want to thank him for sitting in with us this week, just like he does every week here on the Prime Real Estate Network. And I'd like to introduce to our audience, the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks. What's going on?
What up, Rick? No complaints, man. Another day getting at it, another day of blessings, right?
Hey, man, you know, I always thank you for sitting in with us every week, man, but I do understand the past couple of weeks, you know, we've gone above and beyond as far as building the brand, getting out there, networking, leading from a real estate perspective. So for those in the audience that haven't stayed tapped into the life of the Texas Real Estate King, man, how have you been? What's been going on, man? Fill us in and what's been shaking.
Oh, man, been good, man. Just, staying busy as we do. You know, we had last week was a super big week, and that'll tie into today's guest as well. But just before going into that, just saying, we had the Engage Conference last week with HAR, an amazing event. Of course, most of the team joined us on that Friday. We all went out to the Galleria Champions and the Northside Champions location, had a chance to meet some new up-and-coming future prospects of real estate top producers, and just being able to get them some feedback and tap into them. So that was a good adventure. And listen, we just staying at it, man. You know me, I'm a high school football dad. So, you know, we had that last week. We came out with a good victory. So I'm excited about that. And, you know, we off this week and got other festivities taking place, you know?
Oh, no. And look, Larry, man, I appreciate you for giving that shout out to the Champion School of Real Estate, man. I had the honor of being able to attend and set up everything over at the Galleria location for the career day. So I always love the energy that I receive from those aspiring real estate professionals and those newly licensed students that come to that career day, man. So from that standpoint, man, big, huge shout out to Champion School of Real Estate, because it's always good when we can get in front of the best and the brightest.
Definitely. Also, shout out to Rita Santa Maria. She was, I believe she now offices out of the North location. And so she stopped by a couple of the booths, and many people may not know, but I was actually featured in her second volume of Real Estate Champion Tendencies, a blue book that came out. I always say it's the blue book, but I was actually featured in chapter 5 of that book. So a lot of people don't know that, but that was just a little bit where she talked about how I was able to build out the Brooks and Davis brand.
And, great thing about Rita and the entire team over at Champions, man, they're so inclusive and inviting as far as partnering and working with brokerages like we have over at Brooks and Davis. And the great thing is that I haven't had the type of relationship with Champions that you have had for as long as you've been working with them. Mm-hmm. But it's to the point now where the team over at the Galleria office, they even recognize myself from when we do things over at the Highway 6 office, man. So if you are looking for a real estate school, or you want to become licensed and become a licensed real estate agent, man, look up Champion School of Real Estate, man. Some great people working over there.
For sure.
Hey, man, so, Larry, I'm going to give you some time to talk a little bit about this week's guest, how you were able to gain her commitment sitting in with us, man, and all the great things that our audience can expect from this week's guest that we're going to interview here on the Prime Real Estate Network.
Well, what's fun about it, Rick, is we're probably on a weekly basis over probably the last 9 months, I've had a chance to just kind of talk about, just the experience with being one of the co-chairs of this year's Houston, the HAR Engaged. And so today is actually my co-chair. And as we've been going through the process, we've had a chance to film a few videos, a few reels. You and I and some of our past guests have actually talked about that here on the show. So we actually have the person that had the most activity, the best, the brainstormer of all of it. We got her on the show today. And, the thing is when you're sitting in the chair next to someone and you look over to them and you say, I'd love for you to be the guest on my podcast. What do they say? Send me some dates. And sent her some dates, man, and was able to get her locked in here today. So I know, like you said, like you normally say, it is a Thursday, so I don't want to keep her much longer since I was tardy today. So let's get this party rocking.
Absolutely, man. Without any further ado, I'd like to introduce this week's guest. This fine business owner and entrepreneur is not only Larry's co-chair when it came to the HAR Engage conference, but she is also the broker owner of Styled Real Estate here in Houston, Texas. I want to thank her so much for sitting in on the Prime Real Estate Network. And I'd like to introduce Miss Shelly Scanlin. How are you?
Hi, guys. I'm good. First and foremost, Larry, are you walking on a treadmill?
I am walking on a treadmill.
Okay. Gotta keep my heart rate up.
The funny thing is I think I started it maybe about a month ago, 2 months ago, and for some reason it's just it's something that's now became a habit. I'm like, okay, I got good lighting, get a few steps in while I do it. Why not, right?
It's very intimidating. I feel like I should be doing more.
It's funny. It's funny because it's kind of like when we were just talking over it when we had dinner the other night, and we were just kind of talking, and I was like, man, I just try to stay active as much as I can and just listen to everyone's stories around the table on how to stay active. So this is just one of those tools.
Good for you.
Now, Shelly, Larry mentioned during your introduction that you were his co-chair for the planning implementation of the HAR Engage conference this year. So for our members of our audience that haven't had the opportunity to work closely and partner with Larry for more than 9 months in a row, can you talk about how it was to partner with someone as busy as Mr. Larry Davis?
Well, before that, Shelly, I want you to introduce who you are, because you are a woman of many facets. You actually have several different businesses and several different things that you do, but, feel comfortable in whatever you like. But I want you to tell the audience that have not had a chance to meet you yet, who is Shelly?
Thanks so much, Larry. Yeah, so like Rick mentioned, I'm the broker owner of Styled Real Estate. We also manage a property management firm called Care for Properties. We have a cash buying firm called Cash for Properties. We own a custom pool and outdoor landscape design business called Blue Mine Custom Pools. And let's see what else. I think long-term rentals, short-term rentals. You know, we do things here in the States. And then I personally manage one of my own short-term rentals in Turks and Caicos. So very busy, married, love my little family, my husband, very busy with my almost 2-year-old. She's the light of my life. So I'd be remiss if I didn't say that's a whole nother job, right?
No doubt about it.
Definitely my priority. And then, you have your association work too. And I did not realize when I first met Larry, because he looks so young.
Hey.
It's all the cardio and activity, but just how much experience Larry has. So I am this compared to Larry, and probably yours as well, Ric's experience in the industry. I've been licensed 8 years now, and I've had my firm for 5. So we're a baby when it comes to the real estate industry, and I manage about 50 agents throughout the state of Texas. So at Styled Real Estate, and then also the broker of record for 3 other firms.
Wow.
Outstanding.
That's knocking it out the ballpark. I'm telling you, no doubt about it.
Yeah, but then the association work too is very important, right? So I actually ran for the HAR board of directors for 5 years, I believe, and I was recently elected this year. And so I got told no a lot, right? That door got shut in my face a lot. And I just think serving your association, having a seat at the table to have a voice for your agents and for your consumers is one of the most important things that you can do as a professional. And so I'm really excited to serve on the 2025 HAR board of directors representing medium firms. And then Larry and I are both on the Texas Realtors board of directors as well.
Yeah. Congratulations on that win. And it was fitting because you are somebody that's built for that position. What do you think was because like you said, you've ran several times in the past. What do you think was what do you think the experience level was, or what do you think the game changer was this year where it was like, we need to have Shelly a part of what we have going on here on the board?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know if I can put my finger on it, but when you're the broker owner of a boutique firm, you don't have a big brand behind you. So you don't really have that marketing engine. HAR changed the bylaws in the last year, maybe 2 years, about the categories for running, right? So it was size of firm. And so previously, if you were running for medium firms, you were competing against people who had, 350, I think maybe even 400 agents. And so that changed a little bit. And when you look at the number of votes that we get in our election, it's very low, right? And so if you had someone who maybe worked in a smaller RE/MAX office that could have been considered for medium firms, well, now they had the support of, all the RE/MAX offices throughout the greater Houston area. And so they had a bigger marketing engine behind them to really push that. And so really understanding that getting out there and serving our members on committees and being involved and getting them to know where they're at, right? That's been the biggest thing. So I think just over the past 5 years, staying involved, getting to know members, specifically outside of my own brokerage, was probably the tipping point.
Wow. I love hearing you say that because I am much like yourself, I'm an advocate. I'm an ambassador when it comes to HAR and the things that we do and trying to get people to be actively involved in our advisory groups. What has been your most favorable advisory group? Now, outside of being the chair, engaged, I'm sure. But because right now that's what they've sent out the link to ask people to get involved. And so I think that's very important. I've been trying to just talk to people that I come in contact with that see so much activity of you and I on social media and just, how we look. Well, they say it look fun when we're doing it. And I'm like, it is fun. We're out helping and doing. But what is your thoughts on just being able to give back and just being able to be on the advisory groups? I try to, I just want to hear another person's thought on it as well.
Yeah, well, I think sometimes it can be a little intimidating if you've never done it before, because you might think that the time commitment is too much, and each different advisory group has a different level of time commitment. So you ask what my favorite is, and we'll just put engage aside because that was our baby. I really enjoy professional development over the years because I think that that's so important. Moving forward, the education that needs to happen for our 50,000 plus members. And this year was so very important. And Rita and her team did an amazing job making sure that the trainers were trained and they were available to make sure everyone was trained up on forms. Wow. And so without, when you applied for that committee last year, you didn't know all these changes were going to happen. right? And so being on that committee this last year and just really seeing the work that the association does to make sure that their members are educated and aware. You have a seat at the table to see all of those things. So I've done professional development, probably my favorite. I've been on that one 5 years, and that includes TRLP. So that's under that umbrella, Texas Realtors Leadership Program. I've also done government affairs. I love Amber Burton. I've sat on her committee for 5 years. She's a true powerhouse. And TreePAC's great. I've been on TreePAC. They all take different levels of work and involvement. But to Larry, your point, I was just texting with Rita to find out the deadline for people to apply for next year. And it's actually November 15th. So if you do want to apply to be on a committee, go to har.com/get involved, and you have to submit your application by November 15th.
Good. And people need to get involved. Y'all have no idea on what you miss out on. I always tell people it reignites your career as well. Like, you could have been doing this for 20 years and never been involved, and you get involved, the next thing you know, you get a whole new youth about you when it comes to what we do when it comes to the association. So,
well, and I think understanding the why too behind the scenes, right? Because I think as agents and professionals and consumers, you sit on these chat boards and you see these conversations, and if you're not involved and you don't understand why a voting body or an association body makes a decision the way that they do, you'll have much more understanding as to the whys behind the scenes and the mechanics that operate the association.
Yeah. And another thing, Shelly, and I know I'm putting you on the spot with a lot of these things, but you are such a leader in your young tender plus years of real estate, but that you're such a leader in because one of the other things that stands out is TreePAC for you. You recently, this year you won an award. I can't remember what it was called, but it was something where they brought in, they just kept celebrating you every time I saw you. So what was that call? Because another thing that people don't get is our TreePAC association. And before I got involved and really understood TreePAC myself, you see the fee that was automatically coming out, he'd be like, no, get that back. But if we knew as realtors how important that was, we'll leave that box checked and then try to make sure that we, continue to add it onto it. Because myself, I've always been a major investor, but you something else. Like, I don't know if they call it I can't remember, captain's chair or something like that.
Captain's chair. That's a good one. I need a gold chain, Rick, that says captain's chair.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just right here.
Absolutely.
That'll be the new award. I donate every year, or I invest. I should not say donate. I invest every year at a platinum R level. And so, I believe the award that you're referring to last year was Hall of Fame. And so once you hit 25,000, I believe, you reach Hall of Fame status. So you get some really cool country western boots that I have in my closet that I need to wear to all my TreePAC events. But the reason for me each year to invest so much money back into our industry, really the light switch went off for me during COVID. And so my husband and I had just built our dream home, and we were flat broke at the end of it, right? You don't know what you don't know until you actually go and do it yourself. And we didn't realize how expensive landscaping would be, and that we'd have to do that outside of our custom home construction. So we actually had to sell one of our rental homes in order to afford to pay for our landscaping. So just think about the timeline in the months here. We move in first week in January, and we're working on our landscaping. We literally had the hydro seed. You know how they spray the side of the freeway to save money? We did that in our front yard because we couldn't afford sod, right?
Oh, okay. I didn't even know that was a thing. Okay.
It's a thing. Yeah. Don't recommend it because we don't recommend it. But so anyway, that was in January of 2020, right before COVID hit. And then, March comes about, and then we're told as an association and as realtors and brokers that we're not going to be able to conduct business, right? And so all closings halted, all business halted, and we had a, excuse my French, oh shit moment, right? What are we going to do, right? And so I, as a broker, got scared. And I think, I know that TreePAC had our backs in that, and they were, networking with politicians and making sure that we were declared essential so we could be back to work. And then, of course, history, the market went crazy and we all did super well that year. But if we didn't have the political action committee such as TreePAC fighting to make sure that we were essential to keep closings moving forward, I'm sure many of us would not be in business today and be in the positions that we're in. So that to me was just a huge aha moment where I said, okay, if I give $5,000, $10,000 a year, if I invest $5,000 to $10,000 a year in TreePack, that's pennies on the dollar compared to, you know, keeping our industry moving forward. You know, TreePack's done some really amazing things with property taxes as well. And, you know, fighting and repelling a sales tax on all real estate transactions. Can you imagine if we had to work with consumers to pay compensation and then they also had to pay 6% sales tax?
Yeah.
Our transactions in our whole industry would really halt overnight. So I see the immense value in TreePack. So yeah, I think that was the Hall of Fame award. And then YPN Realtor to Watch for Texas Realtors as well last year.
That's what's up, man. Congratulations. Well, Rick, I know you use that as a format of questions. I apologize. I get tied up into these friendships, and I just really want to just edify my friends, especially when I get a chance to get them on my platform. So my bad, Rick. Your turn, my man.
No, absolutely, man. No, because these are all things that me and Shelly discussed that we wanted to touch on because of how important they are and how not only Shelly, but you also, Larry, shine as an example of how you can build your real estate brokerage and at the same time give back and be a part of organizations where the meaning is bigger than our own individual growth. So it's been great conversation. I appreciate you, Shelly, for being so transparent.
Yep.
One of the things that Larry and I talk about on the show a lot is how being in the public eye from that standpoint can help to build and put you in contact with the best and brightest as far as real estate talent, those that are the most driven. So what type of individuals, what type of traits do you look for, Shelly, when people reach out to you and want to talk to you about your leadership style, how to become a part of your real estate family at your brokerage? What kind of things have you seen in your experience that leads people to be able to work well within your team setup?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, I came from corporate America, and so I worked in the hotel industry for a long time. And I think that's great when you come from a corporate setting because you are used to a very strict 8 to 5. In my case, it was like 6:30 a.m. till 7 p.m. With a commute. And so when you're used to that structure and then you come into real estate and you have a lot more freedom, that can be freeing. And it could be great if you're able to keep yourself in the same amount of structure. I found that if you come from a corporate America setting and you come into an independent contractor setting and you have sales skills, those are my most successful agents. Now, I also have really successful agents that are teachers and that were, you know, stay-at-home moms. You possess a really specific skill set, and it's just that shit you can't teach. Right? Yeah. You either have it, it's a special sauce, you have it or you don't. And so the agents that come to us that, you know, don't want to talk to a customer until they've been through every single training class and have every single designation, they're probably not the agent for me or for my firm. Now, we're going to have your back and make sure that you have all the proper training, that your T's are crossed, your I's are dotted, you know, your contracts are correct. But the best experience is really just to get out there and do it, right? And to not be scared. So the best person for my firm is a go-getter. You know, we kind of joke in our office when we interview people. My office manager, Heather, and we are not a rainbows and unicorns emoji type communicator. We're very direct A-type personalities. And so, you know, if you're looking for fluff and emojis and, you know, all of that, that's probably not us. But we're going to make sure you make good money and, you know, we're going to teach you how to hustle and get the deals across the finish line.
That's what's up. Yeah.
You know,
and I agree when it comes to, like, I always found educators to be go-getters. Now, I don't know if it's because they put in those 8 to 10 hours a day dealing with students or dealing with kids, and their ability to be able to think practically and explain something out so well. So like you said, when it comes to educators as well as customer service industry, like you said, like that hotel, those people just seem, I don't know if it's because of the hours and they like, this is fun work or what it is, but yeah.
Patience, you know, they're like, hey, I dealt with toddlers and 8-year-olds, right? I can deal with adults. And I'm like, well, sometimes the adults are worse. So, you know.
No, I appreciate you for sharing that message, Shelly, because there's so many members of our audience who that message is going to resonate with them. everyone has varying personalities and respond to leadership through different voices and want to be led in differing ways. So for those members of our audience that really gravitate towards not only you, but your background, your story, and your message, when will be the next opportunity for anyone to come out, meet, greet, and interact with you in person, Shelly?
Yeah, I don't have exact dates for you. That's very specific. So I'll be at the HAR Housing Symposium. So that event is coming up. That's the next big event that HAR is putting on. So you can find out more information on HAR's website. I don't know the exact link. I'll post it this afternoon on my social media. The best way to ever get a hold of me is text, because I'm in and out of these things, all day, meetings and client conversations. You can DM me on Facebook, DM me on Instagram. I'm open to conversations like that as well. And one-on-one is great too. I'm never too busy to make time for someone, especially if you're reaching out, one-on-one and you have a very specific question, or, you need advice or want to connect. I'm happy to meet for coffee one-on-one as well.
Absolutely. So Shelly, please share your websites, IG handles, and all the contact info with our audience so that they can save and favorite and bookmark as we speak.
It's so funny because I'm not much of an Instagrammer. I have to force myself to do it. I'm much more of a Facebooker, if that tells you my age. So my Instagram is Shelly Scanlin Broker. My Facebook is Shelly Scanlin Texas Broker. So you can reach me both in those areas. And then my company website is styledrealestate.com, and it's style with a D, styledrealestate.com.
Absolutely.
So Shelly, which one of the reels that we did was your favorite? As we were preparing for that.
This one?
I knew that was going to be your favorite. That was my most complicated one.
Larry might be able to walk on a treadmill and talk at the same time, but he does not have rhythm when it comes to
none of that
coordinating with a dance partner. I mean, I don't know how many takes we had to do. I wish there was some B-roll about that. Larry,
man.
The question,
Shelly, because Rick knows this.
Larry?
I know we needed outtakes for it. It really took me a while, but Rick knows this from our college days. We pledged the same fraternity. And one of the things is these fraternities, we have step shows, which step shows is a way of dancing and things like that. I was never a part of any of them. I was maybe the intro guy where I might come do 1 or 2 steps, but it's always because I never had the rhythm for it. I have no idea why.
I can tell. I can tell. But we did it, and that was by far my favorite because it was so funny. We had so much fun with that one. I think both our personalities came out in that for sure.
Yes, indeed. So as we get ready to go into the next year, do you know which committees you plan to be a part of?
Yeah, I applied for professional development and government affairs this next year. So I think I'm doing just 2 this next year because I'm doing board of directors as well. And so, I've been on those both for at least 5 years and want to keep that going. So TREPAC is super important to be involved in. And so I support TREPAC by my investment versus my financial investment versus my time. So, yeah.
Definitely.
No, I mean, Shelly, I want to thank you so much for sitting in. Like Larry and I mentioned, we know how busy Thursdays are for brokers. It's either a getaway day if we have vacations planned, or it's a setup day if we have the closings on deck. So thank you so much for sitting in. You can come back and you have a seat with Larry and I anytime you would like to sit in. Please keep us at the forefront of any news, breaking news, events, or anything that you're spearheading or headlining, because we definitely want to get the word out to our audience. So thank you so much, Shelly, man. It's been great interviewing you this week.
And as we close out, Shelly, is there anything you want to leave with the people?
Well, I mean, I want to thank both of you for having me, and the sentiment is mutual. So if there's anything that I can support for you all, certainly please let me know. Larry, it's been fun over the last year. I hope that you stay in touch, and we'll continue to serve together. And Rick, same for you. Nice to meet you today. If there's anything at all you need, let me know. And the last thing that I'll leave you with is just, keep your mindset glass half full at all times. So there's always an opportunity for growth and for improvement. And if you seek positivity on a daily basis and you greet confrontation and problems with glass half full, you're never going to lose.
That's what's up. No doubt about
it.
Thank you, Shelly.
Thanks,
Thank you so much.
Where did high five at?
All right. Good job.
Outstanding.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Have a great day. Bye-bye, guys.
Absolutely. Larry, it was great having Shelly. You did an outstanding job of being able to gain her commitment to sit in with us, man. I think one of the things that the audience is going to take from today's episode is the energy that you had. Rarely do you have an opportunity to sit down and talk to someone that you've been in close working relationship with for the past 12 months with goals of bringing an event to life. And now that event is come, gone, and now you can sit back and exhale. Could you just share with us some of the how you feel fulfilled now that you've set that goal, worked with Shelly, and now that event has been successful and is finished?
Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing. The biggest shout out goes to HAR and the staff at HAR. I mean, we had Lori as like one of our major mentors. We're going through the process, and the team around, man, it's hands down one of the best things or best conferences I've ever been a part of. And everyone that knows me knows for the last 20 plus years, I attend several conferences throughout the year, but hands down, this one was one of the best ones. And I've participated in them before, and just having the staff and the team of HAR around, and now I understand why we are such leaders in the world when it comes to real estate, not only just here in the Houston area, Texas wide, associations, hands down, anywhere in the country. They look at us as a model of what they want to be. And now I understand. I mean, I've always understood that because I've always been a part of our advisory groups. But I definitely can say with having a conference like that come to town, having a chance to sit down, speak with a lot of the speakers and stuff like that, is just really an amazing event. And again, thank you so much to those people that support that supports Houston Association, the sponsors that came out. Man, this really had a great time. And what can I say, man? I'm looking forward to next year. I'll be at it next year myself as a realtor, like I've always participated.
And see, Larry can't say it because he want to be modest, so I'll say it for him. Hey, look, if we had a chance to meet you, shake your hand, interact with you at either Champion School of Real Estate Career Fair or at the HAR Engage Conference, you want to learn more about Brooks and Davis Real Estate, you want to learn more about the Prime Real Estate Network team, reach out to me, give myself, Mr. Brooks, a DM, call, email, text message, man. We'd love to talk to you about the virtues of Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm and how you can become a part of our real estate family.
No
Before
doubt.
we sign off this week, Mr. Brooks, you got any final words for the city?
Hey, listen, it is homecoming weekend. Let's go. It's homecoming weekend all over the state of Texas. But I tell you what, it's Nacogdoches, Stephen F. Austin, one of the greatest universities this side of the border. Listen, man, we got it going down. We got homecoming going on, so we got a big events going on. So believe it or not, those of you that listen to the show that went to Stephen F. Austin, they're doing some special things this time around. The game is actually later than it usually is. It's about 6. It's a 6 p.m. game, which here's what that means. That means that we're hosting a day party. The alumni group is going to be hosting a day party that's going to start early in the day, 12 o'clock, where they got some brunch going on and stuff like that at Fredonia. You want to definitely come by and check that out. Shout out to my brothers in arms when it comes to the football team. They're going to be honoring the 89 championship team and, of course, us, the 99 championship team. And I heard it's a buzz out there that we don't know who could have beat who. The 89 team feel like they could have beat the 99 team, but I'm just saying we was built different. So, championship teams, they're going to be honoring us at the game and that weekend as well. So definitely look at my social media page at texasking.com. I'll be posting the football activities as well as the association things, as well as the Black Alumni Association things that be taking place. But listen, if you haven't been back to NAC in a while, this is the year to get back engaged, get plugged in. So many big things going on. For those of you that don't know, we are now also a part of the University of Texas systems. So we getting more things going on. So man, tap in with us.
Hey, look, man, SFA Nacogdoches Friday, Saturday, Sunday is going down. Homecoming weekend, big huge shout out to everybody. Like you said, the SFA Kappas, man, Platinum Playboys, we on the way. Everybody who coming up 5945 I-20, travel safely. Until next Thursday, everybody in the audience, please be safe and be blessed.
Be blessed.